Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, getting into a question posed by the community: how to responsibly take profits from drip into the animal farm, and how this is better for all of us long term. So I've covered a little bit about this in other videos, but I'm going to use this opportunity to kind of go a little deeper into it and understand why the farm is necessary. Also, what the strategy for me looks like when the farms actually will launch, as well as how to look at this in regards to taking profit responsibility in drip, and like what the strategy can be for short-term and long-term investors, because I believe that is two different ways to play this. All right, so first question, basically, how is drip or the farm better for us in the long term? So drip in and of itself is an amazing piece of innovation, and it's sustainable in the fact that the feature and not the bug of the actual contract allows drip to mint tokens. So there will always be drip paid out no matter when you get in. Now, the value of those tokens will depend on basically the utility of drip, and if drip was by itself, it would depend on new capital coming in. Now, right now, if you just had drip and the reservoir by itself, the reservoir would give drip a price floor of, right now it's about 70 cents, and that is tied directly to BNB. So BNB cuts in half right now, then we'd have a reservoir price floor of 35 cents, which means drip would continue to pay out, and you would have a payout in drip, as is in the drip wiki. If the contract is no longer able to pay out the interest to all participants within the maximum amount of 1 million tokens provided for in the initial offer, the required drip will be minted, thereby increasing the available supply. And that's what we've been seeing happening. So there's no questions there what's happening with that. I don't have that up right now, but we're sitting at like 2.5 million. Oh, here we go. 2.5 million total supply in drip, right? So that's drip by itself. The drip.faucet will always allow you to get out your 1% per day in drip tokens. Now, what makes the farm better for drip is that it now gives a place for drip to be parked without being sold. So like I said, with just this by itself, people get into the drip faucet because they want the 1% return on investment per day, and they're expecting the appreciation in drip so that that 1% is actually worth more. If we didn't have any other utility and we're in a bear market, as you've seen over the last 8 months, if there's no new people coming in and wallets keep maxing out, drip will pay that out, no problem. That's what the faucet's designed to do. But the value of that is going to continue to go down as BNB goes down and as whales or people claiming exit the system. Now that we have the farm, there is a place for people to park without exiting the system. So the farm is essential. For people who don't understand that, the ability to take drip from the faucet and put it in here, remember when you claim it from the faucet, you have a 10% claim. And then if you actually have to pair it manually, you're gonna have a 10% pair that you do. If you have BUSD in your wallet, that's 10% you have right there, and that goes back to the tax vault. Once you're also here on the animal farm, you are getting hit with a 1% tax to stake it, and that goes back to the tax vault. So again, without a place to put drip, people would just sell it or hold it in their wallets like we see here and waiting for price appreciation. So the more that people hold in their wallets, the more that's going to be minted, because it's not going back into the system to support people in the tax vault. So again, the farm is essential to give drip a home. And the fact that Forex created this system to where the native governance token of the farm is being printed out from holding drip, that is bullish in the long term. Not to mention, on top of the pig pen will come the Dogs of Fortune game, which will have a utility for drip. So he's giving another reason to use drip. He's basically trying to stop people from doing this and just holding it speculatively in their wallet to trade it. He wants them to put it back into the tax vault, back into the drip faucet, and thereby getting taxed on it, and now it's in the vault, or to put it into the farm and getting taxed on it, so it's back in the vault either way. Same thing with scratchies. So all these utilities, farms being the first one, give a home for this 1.4 million drip sitting on the sidelines? So hopefully that answered that question. That's why the farm is so important. And let me read that again, why that's beneficial and better for us in the long term. So if we don't have the farm, we don't have Scratchy, we don't have the Dogs of Fortune game, then basically drip will bleed out because people will be taking profits and continue to take profits because that's what it's designed to do. And there's no reason in a bear market, so don't get all FUD on me, there's no reason in a bear market for people to buy in. People are risk off, and especially if they don't understand the project. So drip can sustain itself with the taxes and with use case from people using it as a CD. But if crypto doesn't reach mass adoption and the bear market doesn't turn into a bull market to bring people in to use this CD in the utility as designed, then the current ecosystem is considered a closed system in regards to the money. So there's no other way to bring in new money or for that money that's in to grow exponentially because there's no other use case. So the farm adds that utility in the bear market especially. So it'll be even more bullish in the bull market. I guess that was a pun intended. So next up, let's see, on to strategy. So there was a question in here, kind of in here, and there was another one about strategy somewhere up here. We'll be interested in strategy on pools and farms and how to take profits responsibly for the drip into the farm. So we're gonna call this a 2-point strategy. So I look at this for people that are of one of two camps. Camp number one, the best strategy is just hydrate until max payout. That way you don't have to think about anything. You don't have to formulate any kind of 6-in-1, 14-in-1, 6-in-2, 5-in-2 strategy to claim, right? If you are willing to ride this out, find out whatever your time horizon is to max out, and just don't worry about anything else. Try to find a way to not even see this value and focus only on this number and this number. Once you get that to 100K, then you're golden. Because the utility and all that stuff will continue to be built on top and you'll be sitting in a pretty spot. So if you have the long-term time horizon, the best strategy is just max payout, 100%. Now, if you're not max and you're anything below max, meaning you want to take profits, you want to ROI as fast as possible, you want to get a passive income, whatever the case may be, I am partial to my 40-hour work week strategy. And if you're not familiar with what that is, that's this right here, this video, Drip Network, Drip Garden, 1,000 per month, stable 40-hour work week strategy. So I created this strategy because the 5-in-2 strategy is a little bit more aggressive. So if we do 48 hours divided by 168, that's the total number of hours in a work week. That means you're getting almost a 30% claim. You're getting 28%. Now, if you do the 40-hour work week, you're just under 25%. So it's more aggressive than the 6-in-1, 24 divided by 168. So that's 14, but it's not nearly as aggressive as a 5-in-2. And I like this strategy because, like I said, for most people, they are very familiar with working a regular job and shifts. So it's easy to kind of set yourself up and be responsible and kind of focus on a strategy that you can stick to. So meaning you wake up at a certain time every day and you click hydrate or claim, and then 8 hours later, you do the same thing, just like clocking in and out of work. So I think that that's a way to sustain itself, and you get the benefit of, if you forget, you don't get paid that day, same way if you didn't go to work, right? You also have the benefit of working overtime for yourself if you want to work 10 hours or 9 hours or work the weekends. So you can make that strategy so much more flexible than a strict 5-in-2 or 6-in-1. And I also, another reason I'm bullish on it is because it negates any of the normal sell pressure that you always see in the other strategies. So typically people doing a 5-in-2 always claim over the weekends, which means the prices are the lowest in the weekend. Technically you could shift your day to a Tuesday, Wednesday, but that doesn't hit into the normal cycle of human beings and how we operate. So you may forget that, but you can still do it. But most sustainable long-term, I believe the 40-hour work week is the best case scenario for the short-term strategy holder, or basically anyone not going for max payout. Now let's take a look at some of the other strategies of how to move the money within the ecosystem. All right, so taking profits, responsibly, or whatever you want to call it, or how to move from the faucet to the farm. This is probably one of the better infographics. I made my own. It was a little cheesy, so I'm going to use this one. So you have the foundation, the faucet, right? So you can take your BNB, your drip, and if you have BUSD in your wallet, you can then pair it onto the farm. And then once you have your drip BUSD in the farm, so you just claim it from the faucet, pair it with BUSD in your wallet, and then you are going to start now earning pigs. From the pigs, you're going to stake the pigs in the pig pen and earn BUSD. If you don't have any BUSD, you can sell some of your drip, and then you're going to end up with, depending on where you sell it, but if you sell it on the native DEX, which is actually more beneficial, you're going to end up with BNB, and then take a portion of that BNB and put it in the reservoir, and then you're going to have to turn your BNB into BUSD to pair it. That is the best case scenario for how to keep drip kind of not selling it all or staying in drip when you're staking. Now, if you claim it all, then you have options to do dogs and stuff like that. But this is by far the easiest way to go about moving drip from the faucet to the garden. So one way or another, you're going to get hit with the 10% claim tax and the 1% deposit fee. So at a minimum, you're going to get 11%. If you have to pair it, you're gonna get hit with another 10%. So just keep that in mind as you move around. That's why I tell people it's better if you have any spare change on the side to just go straight into the drip liberation contract and get into the garden. The garden is taking a hit right now, but it will appreciate as the farm's on pause. Guarantee that. Just a quick message, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. This helps bring brand awareness to the channel as well as all Forex Shark related projects. Thank you. Play in the farm, it's best, number one, to have fresh capital. If not, I would not personally suggest, not financial advice, if you have a low bag size, less than 1,000 drip or something like that, I would not be claiming my drip at these prices to move into the farm. That's just me personally. I would just keep compounding in the faucet and wait for the drip to rebound. Then you'll have more money when drip rebounds, and you can sell a small amount taking profits and then buy a position in the farm. If you're sitting on a small drip bag, it is literally, in my opinion, cutting your own throat if you decide to claim out, take that 10% tax, and then get into the farm to try to get a position in the farm. The people that are gonna dominate the farm in the beginning are the ones that have a lot of capital on the side or already had large farm positions to begin with. So again, not financial advice, but personal recommendation. Do not wreck your drip position to try to get into the farm. Use fresh capital unless you have enough drip that you're getting paid out and you are willing to take that hit. Because remember, I personally believe at these prices we're seeing right now for drip that it will at least 2x from here. So I believe we will be at a $9 to $12 floor once the liquidity gets locked up. So if you're sitting on a low drip bag and you sell at these prices to build a dog position or build, I don't know, ETH, whatever, you're just literally, like I said, cutting your own throat, because if you had just waited 10 days, you could have sold half of that drip and got the same amount of whatever position you're trying to build. I can't convince you otherwise, but that's just how I see it. Everybody else is going to play this differently. That's the beauty of the game theory that Forex built in. So getting into that game theory and those strategies, let's take a look at what the TVL can be initially once we launch, like a minimum guarantee TVL. Right now we're sitting at 46 million, and that's all basically from pigs. We don't really have anything else that's being added in here. The drip garden contract isn't added into this TVL, I don't believe. According to this, it's just the pigs and the pig pen, piggy bank and pig pen. But let's look at what we got in drip, right? So in wallets, we're sitting at 1.4 million drip. Now, if 60% of this drip gets moved into the farm, that is 840,000 drip. If 80% gets moved into the farm, that's 1.1 million. That would mean some of it gets sold off. Yes, I know. But let's just go with the 60%. That's 840K. I didn't do an Excel spreadsheet. Just follow the math with me, all right? So we have 840K that can be moved into the farm. Additionally, we already have in drip LPs sitting in wallets we have almost 1 million total drip LPs, and of that, just over 500,000 locked into contracts. So let's just go ahead again for simple math, use 500,000. So we're gonna say 500,000 plus, I will pull this up for you guys because you're probably not following along. 840K is what I said. So I'll actually show you this. So I said there's 1.4, oops, that's 1,400,000 times 0.8, right? That's the 1.2. Let's go back to the 0.6 times 0.6. That's 60%, 840,000 drip. Plus, I'm calling this 500,000. I know it's a little less, but it just made simple math. Plus 500. That's 1.34 million drip tokens that can be locked up as LPs, right? Because I'm looking at the drip here that's in wallets. Some of it can be sold, some of it will be paired, whatever the case may be. It shows up right here when we count all this up. And if people are waiting, like we speculate, because they haven't sold these big wallets, if you look at the old videos, they're still the same amount. Some of them have actually gotten a little more. So we can assume they're not selling at these prices because they haven't sold yet. They may, like I said, keep some on the sidelines and hope for a 3 to 4x pump and sell some of that. But that's why it's safe to say 60% of this 1.4 million, 60% of that would go into the farm, and that leaves the other 40% to be sold or to be kept in the wallets. So I think that's a safe bet. Could be less, could be more, but let's just go with that. And then when we add, again, rounding up 500,000, there's 986,000 here. Then we have 473 plus 42, that's like 510. So it'd actually be like 470, but just simple math, right? So 1.3 million. Now the price of a drip LP right now is $8.52, right? You can also get that from drip.formulate. We can get the drip LP. I always forget where to find that LP price. There we go, right there, 852. So it's still the exact same thing, 851, 852, right? So now we know that this number here is representative of the LP. So I can multiply this times 8.51, and I now have $11.4 million that will come over into the BUSD farm. So we have 11 million plus 46 million plus, what do we have in dogs? Bet you didn't even think about that. Dogs, we're sitting on 1.175 million dogs, and the dog's price was $43. I believe we can still see that on CoinGecko. Let's check and see. I think he already removed, no, because he said he wasn't going to remove the liquidity yet, so it should show up. Nope, it's already been pulled. So, but I do know it was $43. You can see that on the old charts, and it's not in here yet, but it was $43. So we can do 1.175, 123 times 43. So that's another 50 million. So 50 million plus the 11 million is 61 million plus the 46 million. So we're gonna be sitting automatically in native assets over 100 million in TVL locked up. Now, I know you're thinking, well, other farms have more than that, and that's not a lot, yada, yada, yada. But that's just the initial launch of the farm. So that's a great starting point for any farm in regards to liquidity, and for other people to look at it as a great place to park capital. And that does not count any of these assets. Ray, in one of the stablecoin pools, had 500 grand himself. And we know that some of the other whales have Bitcoin and ETH and stuff like that. So we can definitely see a lot more TVL. I don't know what the number would be, but I'd be safe to say at least 250 to 300 million initially. And then we're already seeing pigs pump a little bit from the 130 price floor that it was sitting on 3 days ago up to 150 now. So all that being said, that we are in a nice place to see price appreciation and stability for the farm in the short to near future. So my strategy that I am going with when the farms launch is I will personally be looking to buy dogs. I know a lot of people don't want to buy on day one, but there's going to be, the dogs are going to come in at a low price, and then there's going to be very little sell pressure. In addition to the sell pressure that does happen for those that are just ready to get the hell out and just have lost faith in the Forex Shark ecosystem, if you are in the dog pound, you're going to be getting those taxes. And I want to buy dogs because I believe they're going to go up more so than they're going to come down. There are going to be some people that are going to take that hit, but I've already got 16 dogs I can stake to start getting taxes from when dogs were paused. But I believe there'll be more buy pressure than sell pressure on dogs personally due to that 90% tax. So I think only a fraction of people of this 1.175 million dogs, I would say 20 to 30% would sell. So, and I believe there'd be enough buy pressure to keep dogs pumping. So I'd rather get in the beginning when they're lower and then see a similar price appreciation like we saw here. And then people might be willing to sell. So remember, if you buy dogs at the 43, let's call it $50 mark, and then it 2X's, which Pigs almost did, then almost be up here, so not quite. But then you could sell with a 90% tax, and even though you take a 90% tax, you still make a little profit. So that's my initial strategy, is buy dogs with whatever I can, and I might sell a little of my drip because I'm only claiming like 5 days out of the month as opposed to my 8-day strategy to pay my bills. So the other 3 I may use to buy dogs. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think so. Then step 2 is going to be continue to grow my garden position. So like I told you already in another video, a lot of people are getting out of the garden, which I think is great because it gives a great entry for me to build my bag up. And then as drip appreciates in price, my LPs become worth more. So that is the play, and the same thing for the piggy bank. So I think that's a sleeper play that people are not paying attention to. Build the garden position and not try to follow what the whales are doing right now. Follow them kind of after the fact. Because if you're pulling out your LPs and you're not getting the 100 or 200 a day that they're getting, you're just getting the hit. But if you wait maybe less than a week after the farm's launch, I think these could recover. And then when you break apart your LP, it's now worth $12. So the same LP you had, instead of it being $8.50, it's now worth $12. I could see that happening in the short term due to what I just told you, $11 million in drip BUSD liquidity being added. So if you're gonna take your LPs now, yes, you can put them straight into the farm, but I don't see small bags like myself being able to get a large position in the farm. So rather than let my garden take a hit right now, I would much rather compound and build my position afterwards. Yes, the percent may be a little lower, but that means my drip BUSD LP is worth more, and I've let my garden build up while I believe the garden would be appreciating, versus right now everybody's claiming. So if you're claiming, you're taking a bigger hit on your garden than you would if you claimed when it was actually going up. I covered this in another video. So the best strategy for small bags, in my opinion, is to not follow the whales right now. I mentioned this in another video. Just wait till this reverses and then start claiming a little bit of your LPs to put into the farm. You don't have to rush into the farm. It's a forever farm. It's going to continue to print. So there's no need to try to be first unless you have a large bag and you've been waiting for this. But if you're like anyone who follows my channel, small bag size like myself or smaller, then don't wreck yourself. Just be patient and wait literally 3 to 5 days after the farm's launch. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The APRs are meant to go up and down. So we will see them go up to high and then come back down to deflationary at some stage in the game. And that is the best time to kind of build your position. Watch the emissions rate. You don't have to do it on day one. All right, so same thing applies for the piggy bank. I already mentioned that. And especially more so for the piggy bank, that's my third strategy, is waiting for the pigs to continue to appreciate in price, which they're doing now. But I could see when the farms launch that they maybe get back up into the 150 to 160 range. And then if you break apart your piggy bank LPs, you now have more BUSD, which you can put into the garden. So literally just being a couple days late getting into the farms could net you, in my opinion, 20 to 30% more on these LPs due to the assets they're tied to. So right now, everybody's taking profits and they're going down. So don't be like everyone else. Instead, continue to compound your position and then wait to actually claim a bit out. So that's my secret strategy for any of those following my channel and wanting to know what I would do or what I will be doing. And of course, I'll be documenting, showing you that to you guys. So all these right now, I just continue to, I claim from here and put them right back into this one and then compound. So this is what I'm waiting on to pay out, and I'm not going to claim it now because right now it's this piggy bank stake. I don't know how many pig LPs it would be, but I know and believe that the PIGGS token, by the launch of the farm will be more than it is right now. So why would I take this out now? Yes, I can put it into the pig pin and get some of the dividend yields that will get paid out on day one. But again, it's a long-term play. So I don't care about missing 2 to 3 days of compounding. I'd much rather wait, see how the APRs are, see where everybody's going, and make a better strategy after everyone else has played their hand, so to speak. That's just me. All right, this has been a long enough video. I apologize for that, guys, but hopefully it provided some insight and answered the questions that were there. You know the drill. Also, I forgot to mention, we got that community challenge going on. So shout out to all the YouTubers that I tagged. Please also to my subscribers and people that are watching my content, give us some ideas of what you would like to see for this challenge, because I like it to be entertaining and engaging, and find a way to support the community as well. So we're taking suggestions before we formally kick this off. All right, until next time, guys, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.